Hey, stop, guys. Come on, come on. So, sometimes when you go to the movie theater and you get your ticket stub and they have to abbreviate the title of the movie because it's just too long. So I saw Atomic Blonde today, and they actually call it Atomic Blow. Now, that's not what the name of the movie is called, obviously, but it's definitely what freshmen in high school are going to call the action they got from their first girlfriend when they talk to their friends about it the day after. Get it? Because... Okay. Good night, guys. Good night. You didn't hear that joke. Hopefully, if you're still subscribed to me and you're still watching this, welcome to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I'm your host, John Maffio, and today's featured movie is the latest from director David Leitch. It's called Atomic Blonde. It stars Charlize Theron, Sophia Boutella, John Goodman, Toby Jones, James McAvoy. And the story takes place in 1989, right around the time where the Berlin Wall was knocked down. And Charlize Theron is an agent for MI6, and she's got to do something after a close associate of hers is killed in cold blood. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot of Atomic Blonde. She's a blonde, it's atomic like a bomb. I was looking forward to Atomic Blonde because of the credentials in front of and behind the camera. I like David Leitch, he's a really great upcoming director of action, and he's been doing stunt work for the longest time, so he knows action. And then you have Charlize Theron, who is one of the greatest heroines we have in cinema right now. She's been making movies forever, and she just gets more attractive as time goes on. If you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa, she continues her badassery into this movie. And I just thought, how can you go wrong? And for the most part, Atomic Blonde is fun. There's a lot of good, fun times to be had with this movie. It's also really sexy, and it's just really visually popping. There are some aspects about it that are flawed. I'll get to that. But let me talk about what's good about this movie first. First of all, Charlize Theron is a great protagonist. She is an action star. She's incredible from a physical standpoint when it comes to action, but she's also just a really great actress, if you didn't know. Even though her character is a little thinly written, her performance brings much more to the character than you would expect. Also, her surrounding performers are also really great. James McAvoy is charismatic as hell, as always, and he brings a lot of good chemistry with her. Sophia Boutella keeps showing up in movies, and she gets better and better every time. And not only is she knock 'em dead gorgeous like Charlize Theron is, so like the two of them together is like heaven on earth. And they also have a scene that would have made 12-year-old John go crazy. But these actors do all bring a spark to their performances, and they really do enhance the movie when the flaws can get a little out of hand. The action is incredible. There are a couple little moments of action that are nice, and then there's a couple big sequences, especially one sequence I don't want to get into, but there's one sequence that just feels like a one take, but it goes on forever, and it's like the best forever in an action movie. The action is relentless and brutal. There's a lot that's insinuated and implied through camera work, and you don't always get like extreme gore. You do sometimes, but there are other moments where you understand what's happening in the scene without actually getting the obnoxiousness of it, and it's more effective that way. I also just really like the style of the movie. A lot of really great lighting with colors. It's very visually popping in terms of the rainbow spectrum. You get a lot of cool neon things going on. It feels very noir in a modern sense. And just the camera work from scene to scene is just really well produced, and I really liked how Rockstar felt. It just felt badass. You could tell this movie carried a very strong persona on its shoulders. So basically what I'm saying is the movie was pretty cool looking. There's also a lot of 80s music in this movie, and it's consistently showing up throughout the film, and at a couple points I'm like, we maybe don't really need music in this scene, but there's a lot of other scenes where it does enhance the action and or actual scene between characters and dialogue. Now moving into my criticisms of the movie, I wasn't the biggest fan of the plot structure, the way the story was told. It was a little non-linear. I think if they took a different approach, or they took out one aspect of the movie and just told the story straight through, I would have liked it more. But I think there was one aspect of the movie that involved interrogations that personally made the film just drag extremely, and it took me out of the movie because I felt the adrenaline rush that the movie was going for when it wasn't doing this, and then when it would cut to interrogation room scenes again, it would just like screech to the halt. There's a lot of moving parts in the plot that get a little convoluted and muddled, and some things don't pay off. I think some things could have been improved for the emotions and the arcs of certain characters, especially Charlize Theron's character. Although I will admit there are a couple awesome cuts and transitions in the editing from scene to scene, specifically from something that's happening in the past to the interrogation scene, that I either chuckled at or just really appreciated. Overall though, Atomic Blonde was a really fun action thriller that has some really fun performances. Charlize Theron kicks ass as she always does. Visually, it's one of the coolest movies you'll see all year. The 80s music might get obnoxious to some people, but for those who enjoy it, it may enhance the movie for you. It's all subjective. If you're a fan of the action genre, I would say check it out because you might have a lot of fun with it. My only problems with it were really that it drags in aspects because structurally it's a little off, and also I think the ending goes on way too long. But the movie is a little under 2 hours, and if you have time to kill and you want to see a fun action movie with a kick-ass female lead, this is the movie for you. It's a full-course Applebee's meal. But now I want to know from you guys, what did you think of Atomic Blonde? Did you think it was like an atomic bomb of awesomeness, or like a splash in the pool of If you enjoyed this review, please like it, subscribe so you won't miss a video from me ever again, and check out the rest of my social medias and everything else down below. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.